Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on reinforcement theory of motivation. So it is a theory of motivation that emphasizes the role of reinforcement in shaping behavior. So it is a theory of motivation that focuses the role of reinforcement in shaping behavior. So meaning of reinforcement mean repeated the desired behavior that lead to desirable outcome. Mean repeated the desired behavior that lead to desirable results. So it is a theory of motivation that emphasizes the role of reinforcement in shaping behavior. Reinforcement theory of motivation. So it is a psychological concept that suggests behavior is motivated by rewards and punishment. So it is a psychological concept that suggests behavior is motivated by rewards and punishments. So reinforcement theory of motivation. Introduction. The reinforcement theory of motivation was developed by B.F. Skinner, a behavioral psychologist who believed that behavior is a function of its consequences. He believed that behavior is a function of its results. So this theory suggests that an individual behavior is shaped, directed and maintained by its outcomes, whether positive or negative. So this theory suggests that an individual behavior is shaped, directed and maintained by its results, whether positive results or negative results, whether positive outcomes or negative outcomes. So in simple terms, people tend to repeat behavior that lead to positive outcomes. So in simple terms, people tend to repeat those behaviors that lead to positive results and avoid behaviors that lead to negative outcomes. And people tend to avoid those behavior that lead to negative results. So basic premise is according to Skinner, behavior is a function of its consequences. Mean behavior is a function of its results. So in other words, people tend to repeat behaviors that are followed by positive outcomes. Positive outcomes mean rewards. So people tend to repeat those behavior that are followed by rewards, and people avoid those behavior that lead to negative outcomes, and people tend to avoid those behaviors that lead to punishments. So thus managers and organization can shape employees behavior by controlling the consequences of their action. So manager and organization shape the behavior by controlling the results of their actions. So human behavior is learned and can be modified through reinforcement. So human behavior is learned and can be changed up to a up to some extent through reinforcement, through repeated the desired behavior. So human behavior is learned and can be changed up to some extent through reinforcement, through repeated the desired behavior. So internal factors like needs or emotion are less important than external consequences. So internal factor like needs or emotion of the employees are less important than external consequences. External consequences mean uh, getting rewards, getting good grade in the exam, getting promotion in the organization, getting appreciation from the top level management. So in this theory, internal factor like needs or emotions are less important as compared to external consequences. So therefore motivation is not internal but a result of external enforcement. So according to this theory, motivation is not internal, motivation is not intrinsic but a result of external enforcement. In this case, motivation is a result of external enforcement. External enforcement means repeated the desirable result that lead to desirable outcome, that lead to desirable result. So in this, according to this theory, motivation is not internal but a result of external reinforcement. So reinforcement is any event that strengthen or increase the likelihood of particular behavior occurring again. So reinforcement is any event that strengthen mean increases, strengthen or increasing the likelihood means chances. So reinforcement is any event that increases the chances of a particular behavior occurring again and again or happening again and again. So reinforcement is any event that increases the chances of a particular behavior happening again. So punishment. So punishment is any event that weaken or decreases the likelihood of a behavior being repeated. So punishment is any event that decreases the chances of a behavior that is repeated. So when a person get punished by its bad deed, then it is a chance that he will not repeat this action again. And extinction. So if a behavior is not reinforced, if the behavior is not repeated over time, it tend to disappear. So if any behavior is not repeated over a long period of time, that it tends to be disappear. So it is a possibility that it will disappear. So types of reinforcement. First is positive reinforcement. This involves rewarding desirable behavior to increase the likelihood of it being repeated. So this involves rewarding desirable behavior, means giving rewards to a person for its achievement. So this involves rewarding desirable behavior to increase the chances of it being repeated. A positive consequences follows the desired action. A positive results follows the desired action. For example, an employee receive a bonus or commission for meeting the sale targets. So for example, an employee will receive a bonus or a commission for achieving its sales target. And other example is a student get praise from the teacher, or a student get appreciation from the teacher for submitting his homework on time. And the other example is a worker is given an employee of the month award. A worker is given an employee of the month award for consistent performance. So it is a positive reinforcement, and it will be repeated because it is a desirable behavior and it will lead to a desirable result. So a worker is given an employee of the month. So if a worker is given an employee of the month award for its consistent performance, so then employee will be motivated and he will repeat this behavior again and again to get this award like an employee of the month award. Negative reinforcement. So in this case, an unpleasant condition is removed, an unpleasant condition is vanished. An unpleasant condition is not happened again. So an unpleasant condition is removed after the desired behavior occur, encouraging that behavior to continue. So for example, a manager stop criticizing an employee once they improve their punctuality. If an employee come in the office on time and he shows punctuality, and he will not repeating his previous nature that 1 month ago consistently he came to the office 10 to 20 minutes late, but this behavior is not repeated. This behavior is removed, this behavior is vanished, this unpleasant condition is vanished. Now he comes to the office on time. So a manager stop criticizing that employee once that employee improve its punctuality. So and other example is a worker who maintain a perfect safety record. A worker who maintains a perfect safety record in the working environment, and now he is exempted from extra inspection. So there is no inspection more, no inspection anymore, because he maintain a perfect safety record. Because he is adopting a precautionary measures to avoid any accidents. So there is, so now the worker is exempt from extra inspections. So the criteria of inspection is now eliminated, because the management has now gained a confidence on that worker, that he is now maintaining the standards, he is now maintaining the um, safety environment. So in fact, inspection will be conducted after a month, or after 3 months, or after 6 months, but extra inspection is exempted. And the other example is a student who studies regularly and no longer faces pressure from parents, or as students who studies regularly, who completed his homework on time, and he is now confident that there is no pressure from his parents, and the parents will not impose any pressure on him or her. So an unpleasant condition is removed after the desired behavior occur. When the desired result occur, desired result mean the person is showing punctuality. This is a desired behavior, and the person is maintaining the safety environment. It is the desired behavior, and the student is doing his homework on time. It is the desired behavior. When the desired behavior is achieved, now the unpleasant condition is removed. What is the unpleasant condition? Unpleasant condition is that he is not coming in the office on time. This is the unpleasant condition, and the worker is not maintaining a safety environment. It is an unpleasant condition, and the student is not doing his homework on time. It is an unpleasant condition. So these unpleasant conditions are removed when the desired behavior is achieved. What the desired behavior is? Desired behavior is he is showing punctuality, and that the worker is maintaining a safety record. Worker is maintaining a safety environment, and the desired behavior is that the student is doing his homework on time. So the unpleasant condition is removed after the desired behavior is achieved. Then it will encourage that desired behavior to continue in the future. So this behavior will be repeated. So in the future, what the behavior? Because he is showing punctuality. So punctuality is continuing. So the worker is showing punctuality. The employee is showing punctuality to continue in the future, and the worker is maintaining the safety environment. So this good deeds will continue in the future. So a student is doing his homework on time. So this behavior will continue in the future. So encourage that behavior to continue. So effect is that strengthen the behavior, strengthen the desired behavior, and strengthen the desired behavior by removing negative consequences, by removing negative results. So strengthen means increases. So increases this behavior, increases this punctuality behavior, increases this maintaining safety record behavior, and doing the homework on time, doing the homework on time behavior is increases. So increases this behavior by removing the negative consequences, and removing the negative. What are the negative consequences? Negative consequences: he is not punctual, and he is not maintaining a perfect safety record, and the negative consequence is that the student is not doing his homework on time. So its effect is strengthen the behavior by removing negative consequences. So strengthen behavior by removing negative consequences. So punishment. So this involve applying an unpleasant consequences or removing a positive one to discourage undesirable behavior. For example, an employee is fined for damaged company property. So, and the worker receive a warning letter for repeated absenteeism, and the student is given detention for cheating. So it involve applying an unpleasant consequences or removing a positive one to discourage the undesirable behavior. So apply an unpleasant consequences. The employee is fined. The employee is fined is an unpleasant consequences, and the worker is receive a warning letter, it is the unpleasant consequences, and the student is given detained, it is the unpleasant consequences. Or removing a positive one to discourage undesirable behavior. What is the undesirable behavior? Undesirable behavior is because he is damaging the company property, and undesirable behavior is he is repeating his absenteeism from time to time, and the other is student is cheating in the exam, it is the undesirable behavior. So this involve applying an unpleasant consequences. It means the company is fined to the employee is the unpleasant consequences. A worker receive a warning letter, it is the unpleasant consequence, and a student is detained is a student is detained for cheating, it is the unpleasant consequences. And the this unpleasant apply the unpleasant consequences because of the undesirable behavior. So undesirable behavior is he is damaging the property, and that worker is repeating absenteeism, and the student is detained, and the student is detained for cheating. A student is doing cheating in the exam, so it is the undesirable behavior. So this involve applying an unpleasant consequences to discourage the undesirable behavior. So its effect is it decreases the likelihood of the behavior recurring. So recurring mean reoccurring mean occurring again and again or happening again and again. So its effect is it decreases the likelihood of behavior recurring. Likelihood means chances. So its effect is it decreases the chances of that behavior happening again and again. So extinction. So if a previously reinforced behavior is no longer reinforced, it will gradually fade away. So if a previously repeated behavior is no longer repeated, it will gradually go away. For example, a manager stop praising an employee for minor mistake. For example, a manager stop appreciating an employee for its minor mistakes. So, and if a child stop receiving attention for tantrums, so if that behavior is not repeated, for example, there is no attention given to the child because he is showing tantrum, then the tantrum behavior will decrease over time because there is no attention given by parents. And the manager stops praising an employee for minor mistake. So in this is so when the employee thinks that he is not receiving any appreciation from the manager, that he will not repeat the minor mistake again and again, and then in this way he will in the future he will avoid the minor mistake. So its effect is that gradually weaken the undesirable behavior. So its effect is it gradually decreases the undesirable behavior. Schedules of reinforcement. Reinforcement can be given in different patterns or schedules. Skinner identified several reinforcement schedules. First is continuous reinforcement. So every desired behavior is reinforced. Every desired behavior is reinforced. For example, every time an employee meets a sales target, they receive immediate appreciation. So its effect is it gradually weakens the undesired behavior. It decreases the undesirable behavior. For example, showing in the picture, the manager is happy from that employee, and he said good. Manager said good to the employee. So every desired behavior is reinforced. So every time an employee meets a sales target, he will receive a immediate, or he will receive a on the spot appreciation from the top level management. So in this way he will repeat this desirable uh, behavior, and he will uh, he will make more sales in the next month, and he will get more appreciation and more reward from the top level management on the spot. So it effectively, it gradually weaken the undesired behavior. So intermittent reinforcement is given occasionally. It includes Skinner, a psychologist who identified several reinforcement schedules, fixed interval. So getting reward after a specific time period, for example monthly salary, and variable interval, for example getting reward after unpredictable time, for unpredictable time interval, for example surprise inspection. There is a surprise inspection by the company, and the top level management see that the everything is going right, and the operation of the company is running smoothly, and the company is showing efficiency and effectiveness. Then the top level management will reward to the employees in after a month, after 2 months, after 1 week. So it is a variable interval. So reward after unpredictable time interval, e.g. surprise inspection, and the third is variable ratio. So getting reward after varying number of responses, like e.g. lottery system and sales incentive. For example, a top level management introduce a sale incentive for boosting the sales of the company. Then there is a sales incentive to this marketing and sales department. So in a very I mean in very near future, after 1 month or after 1 week, the management of the company announced sale incentives to the employees. Sale incentives means sale incentive means that if an employee make for example 10,000 sales, so he will get the 10% 10% bonus or 10% commission on that sale. So it is a sale incentive. So getting reward after varying number of responses. So it's best for maintaining consistent so it is best for this reinforcement best for maintaining consistent performance over time. Managerial implications. Behavior shaping. Managers can shape employee behavior by reinforcing desired actions and discouraging undesired ones. So manager can shape employee behavior by reinforcing desired action and discouraging the undesired actions. Immediate feedback. Reinforcement work best when feedback is immediate and specific. Consistency. Reinforcement must be consistent. Inconsistent reward or punishment reduce effectiveness. Avoid overuse of punishment. Excessive punishment can lead to resentment, fear, and lower morale. Resentment mean showing angry behavior, implies showing angry behavior towards management, and fear mean and resentment mean the implies things that they are treated unfairly in the company, and fear means scarcity, and lower morale mean lack of confidence, lack of enthusiasm, and negative attitude toward their work. Means implies have lack of confidence and lack of enthusiasm, and they are showing a negative attitude toward their work and future. So it can lead to decreased productivity and disengagement in the work and the lack of cooperation, and these negative behavior like coming late in the office or remain absent most of the time in the office. So these all come under the definition of lower morale. And the focus on positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement builds commitment and enthusiasm more effectively than punishment. Comparison of different situations in reinforcement theory of motivation. Positive reinforcement. So positive reinforcement giving a pleasant reward after desired behavior. So positive reinforcement encourage repetition of desired behavior. And in positive reinforcement, an employee receive a bonus for achieving sales target. And in positive reinforcement, desired behavior means good performance increases over time, and in negative reinforcement, removing an unpleasant condition when desired behavior occur, and to strengthen and to increase the desired behavior by removing the discomfort. And the manager in negative reinforcement, a manager stops strict supervision when an employee performs well, and in negative enforcement, desired behavior like improvement increases. And in punishment, applying an unpleasant consequences after desired behavior, and in punishment, discourage the undesirable behavior. And for example, an employee is penalized for breaking company rules. Penalized mean giving the penalty. So employee is giving, so an employee is giving a penalty from the company for breaking the company rules. It is a punishment, and in punishment, undesired behavior decreases. And the fourth is extinction. Extinction means gone away. So withholding rewards means stop giving rewards or positive consequences for previously reinforced behavior, and to eliminate behavior by removing reinforcement. So for example, an employee no longer gets appreciation for staying late in the office unnecessarily, and the undesired behavior gradually disappears. So advantages of reinforcement theory. So this theory based on observable behavior, making it easy to apply and measure. And this theory is flexible. Flexible mean work across different type of organization. Means this theory is applicable in different types of organization. And this theory encourages consistent and desired performance. And this theory builds a reward driven culture that aligns behavior with goal. Aligns mean link. So builds a reward driven culture that links behavior with goals. Limitation of reinforcement theory. First is that it focuses only on external behavior, ignoring the internal feeling, needs or attitude. So external behavior means this theory focuses on the rewards, appreciation, and increase in the salary, increase in the bonus, commission. So this and increase in awards like imply month of the award. So this theory focuses only on the external behavior, and it ignore the internal feelings of the employee, and it ignores the internal needs of the employee, and it ignore the attitude of the employee. And the other is it overemphasis on reward, so it may reduce intrinsic motivation. So this theory over focus on rewards, and it may reduce intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is the internal drive of the person. For example, a person is playing a football for enjoyment, but it is an intrinsic motivation. But if for reward, for a reward base, the a footballer must play the football to select in the national football team. It is the reward. Because he is playing football for getting the reward. And if any individual who is playing the football for enjoyment, for its fitness, so it comes under intrinsic motivation. And for example, a student is reading a book for getting good grade in the exam. It is because the student is reading the book for getting the reward. So a student is reading the book for getting good grades in the exam, and other student is reading the book just for pleasure, just for enjoyment. So it is the enjoyment. So this personal enjoyment, personal satisfaction, personal fulfillment comes under the definition of intrinsic motivation. So this theory overemphasis on rewards, and it may reduce the intrinsic motivation. And the third is, in this theory, there is a risk of manipulation. So employee may perform only for reward, not genuine engagement. So employee may perform only for the greed of reward, and they are not engaged. They are not genuinely engaged because they are not taking interest. They are not taking more interest for the productivity of the company, for the productivity of the company, or for the success of the company, or to improve the financial performance of the company, because they are not giving proper time to the company, and they are not giving the proper skills and their expertise, and they are not giving their proper skills and expertise to the company, and they are not giving full time and energy to the company. And the last is, this theory requires constant monitoring, which can be time consuming. So this theory requires regular monitoring, which can be time consuming. So conclusion is that the reinforcement theory of motivation highlights that behavior can be shaped by managing its consequences. So behavior can be shaped by managing its results. For example, it provides a powerful tool to influence employee action by reinforcing desired behavior, by repeating the desired behavior and discouraging the undesired behaviors through a balanced system of reward, removal of negatives and corrective measures. So for managers, it provides a powerful tool to influence employee action by reinforcing desired behavior and discouraging the undesired one through a balanced system of reward, removal of negatives and corrective measures. So when this theory applied wisely and when this theory applied rationally, so it emphasizing positive reinforcement and fair recognition. It leads to higher motivation, better performance and improved workplace culture. It's all about my lecture. If you have any question, then make a comment in the comment box, and please subscribe my channel. See you in the next video.